Okay, so another thing is if you guys have a notebook, there are some ways to make notes. So it will be very useful for you to remember, okay, the things that has gone through today. So please, if you have a notebook, it's very useful to write, okay, rather than just type. But then you can also just type in a notepad for your okay. So as I mentioned last week, all right, today we will start with the coding. Okay, please turn down the speaker. Okay, but before that, I have some few sort of like theory stuff lah. Okay, to cover. So I'll be typing it out on the Miro board. Okay, and then you can make notes on by yourself. All right. Okay, so it would be more convenient to have this one. Okay, so when we are talking about web development, okay, obviously these are this is a general way of looking at it. Okay, there are many terms. Okay, but we have both front end developer and back end developer. Okay, generally we have these two. Okay, but you also have like people who call themselves full stack developers who can do both. Okay, full stack developers. Those are unicorns. Okay, very rare, but they exist. Okay, that they can do both. And even though some might say that they are able to do both, okay, they might not be able to do a good job at both, right? They're not really good. They have a strength in one or the other. Okay, so in front end is basically what we're gonna learn. Okay, we're not gonna learn the back end part. Okay, the back end part involves all the functionalities, programming, okay, logic, software, right? So let's say even simple sending a simple form, right? Like let's say sending a simple contact message to someone involves a backend, okay? So a lot of you guys maybe have proposed to do things like add to cart, online shopping, online functionalities. Those things are all considered backend, right? So you will not be learning this class, okay? Because that can actually be quite complicated, complex, a lot of high-level programming. Okay, but what we learn is front end. Okay, front end is so-called the front facing of the website. So the facing the consumer, right? So like let's say when you think of back end, the consumer doesn't know what happens to the message after it clicks submit, right? It will pass through the satellite, then back to the whatever, and go to the server, process data and stuff like that. But we can't see, right? We don't know. So that is the back end. Front end is the part where you can see. So you can see the colors, you can see the text, you can see the website, you can see the layout. Right? So those are what we call front end. Even inside front end, there are many different subcategories. Okay, but I won't go into that, so complicated. So in front end, we have primarily, okay, this is the basic three so-called languages, okay, that we use in the front end. These are the basic three. Okay, if you are a front developer, you would be definitely using these three basic languages. Okay, so first one is HTML, second is CSS, and third is JavaScript. Okay, of course I will go through what is HTML, what is CSS. Okay, JavaScript not so much, right? But the challenging thing is, that we have very little time, but a lot of the interactions that you want to do with JavaScript, right? So we see what we can cover, right? Now there are three different roles. These three languages have three different roles. Okay. So HTML
is just for putting in information. Okay, it's only for putting in information, right, or content. Okay, HTML only putting in information or content.
Means to say you don't change any design, you don't do any styling, any layout using HTML. HTML is just for you to put in image, you can put in text, you can put in a heading, right? Put in links and stuff like that. It's just purely content. HTML by itself, there is no. Okay, it's just content, it's just information. So if you want your website to have an image, you will put an image into your website using HTML. Okay, but it doesn't relate to the look and feel of the website. Your content. Okay.
CSS is the part where you change the design of the content or the website. Okay, so this is what we call styling or design. Okay,
This is where you put styling and design. So you use CSS to change the background color, change the color of the text, change the type of image, right? Put borders, whatever. Right? So that is how you use that is what's the CSS role. Okay, it's just for appearances. You don't put content using CSS. Okay? You don't put only very, very, very extremely rarely you might use CSS. Okay, very, very rarely. But primarily the main role of CSS is to change the design of your website. Okay?
HTML is to change the content or put the content on your website.
CSS to change the design.
Okay. JavaScript, there are many roles obviously, but in the context of front end, it's for interaction.
Okay? It's for interaction. So interaction like let's say a pop-up, right? A pop-up window. You click on image, you want a window to pop up with a bigger high resolution. Right? Those are interactions. Right? Those belong JavaScript. Like I said, JavaScript is very, very wide. So many functions. JavaScript can also send data to the backend. Like let's say you submit a form, you can use JavaScript to package where you input all the data and send it to the backend to process. Okay, but obviously we won't learn that because that's higher level. Okay, but just think of JavaScript as interaction. Okay, you click on a button, a pop-up appears, those are animated elements, those are interactivity that you want to do, sliders, all right? Those are all JavaScript. Okay, but there are some sort of minimal animation, or actually now quite sophisticated, like CSS can also do animation. Okay, but JavaScript used to be that. Okay, but you can also do animation using CSS. Okay, so there are these three components. Okay, JavaScript there is more, but for the sake of the class, I just say interaction, but there are actually much more functions in JavaScript. Okay, so primarily our class we will learn HTML, CSS. Okay, JavaScript
Very, very introductory. Okay, even HTML, CSS
also considered introduction, but we can have a bit deeper because that's more. JavaScript is very, very introductory. A lot of things that you want to do, you have to research yourself, right? Like sliders and stuff like that. We will go through a few, maybe one or two case studies that we use JavaScript. Okay, but the rest you are on your own. Okay, they don't have enough time. Okay, so for HTML, again, information, content, CSS, design, and styling, right? JavaScript is for interactivity. Okay, so those are the three core languages.
Okay, backend, I'm not gonna go through those lah. Okay. All right. So this week we will start with
HTML basic. Okay, next week we will do CSS basic. Okay, then we will have our semester break, and then we move on from there. Okay. So HTML basics.
Okay, like I said, please make notes if you need to. Okay, you should lah.
It's help you to remember. Okay, last time I used to even write the code on the board and I had to write on A4 full scan paper. Okay.
All right, HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. Okay, this is just for your knowledge.
You don't have to memorize it. Okay, but if you remember, you remember lah. Okay. But you want to be a less developer, but Hypertext, this for your knowledge, hypertext markup language. Okay.
All right. I believe I've shown you all this before, okay, but I will show you guys again. So obviously the HTML file, okay, it ends with HTML file is the extension we call, okay, is .html. So let's say blah blah .html. Okay.
So if it's a JPEG, it's .jpg. If it's a PDF, it's .pdf. If it's a Microsoft Word, it's .docx. If it's Excel.xlsx, right? PNG.png, Photoshop.bst, Illustrator.ai, right? So for HTML, it's .html. Okay, so it's a file extension.
So when you save a new file later, you will be blah 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 .html. Okay. HTML file as extension. All right. Okay, I've also shown you guys this before. I mentioned just now. Okay. A basic HTML or basic website, what it looks like. Okay. I'm going to have to use a very old example because now I use PHP. But you can see, let's say this is a website. I've shown you guys this in week 1, but maybe not everyone is here. Okay. But as you can see, this is a website, right?
And in each website, you will see many HTML files. Okay. So generally, okay, it's not always true now, but generally or traditionally, each HTML file is one web page. Okay, historically, like traditionally, now there's technology and multi-page, many pages in one file. But generally, one HTML file is one web page. Okay, one web page is like your about page, your home page, your contact page, right? So if you have 5 pages in your website based on your sitemap, you should have 5 HTML pages, okay, or 5 HTML files in your folder. Okay.
So this folder where we contain everything,
Everything to do with your website. This folder we call it a root folder.
okay, a root folder as in ROOT folder. Okay. To contain all web files, including your HTML, CSS, JS, PNG, all sorts lah. Okay. MP4, etc., etc. Okay. So this is another term that you have to know, your root folder.
So in the end of the semester, when you submit your website, you're essentially submitting your root folder. Okay? Because this root folder, essentially you can just drag and drop into the server and you will be able to see your website. Alright? But obviously if you guys don't have a server, you don't have to pay, right? I'm not expecting you guys to have a server to buy or to subscribe. So you can just upload your root folder as submission, and that is essentially a website. I can take this folder, I can upload to the internet. Okay, so that is the root folder, we call it root folder.
So what I'm showing you just now here, this is the root folder
Of one website. Okay, and you can see I have all my HTML files and I have different folders for different type of content. Okay, but we'll go through this later in the class. Later in the program. CSS, JS, image files, okay, everything has its own folder.
It's very neat. Okay, you keep it very organized. Okay, so as I was saying, right, your root folder. One HTML file traditionally lah, okay, equals to one web page. Okay, so one website is equal to multiple web pages linked together. Many. So one HTML file equals to one web page. One website, okay, equals to many web pages linked together. Right? So that's why it's called a website, right? Like a spider web, right? Right? They're all linked together by the web. Okay, so that's why it's called website. Okay, so for example, if I were to draw you a diagram, okay, so let's say I have one page here, another page here, another page here, another page here, another page here, and I have, let's say this is my, let's say this is my home page, this is my contact page, this is my about page example, right? You might have different pages, gallery page, we have event page. Okay, so for example, we have these 5 pages, and then we link them together using HTML, right? So I'm going to try and link this. Okay, so each page is linked to each other. It's not just like one way, like every page you can link to every page, right? It's not just like one connection. About event, gallery, contact. Okay, actually this for me drawing might be easier. So I'll do this. Okay, so it's like a web. Okay, so it forms a web like this, right? When you link them all the page together. Okay, so in this case, you have your home page HTML file, you have your contact page HTML file, you have your about page, gallery page, event page HTML file, and you link them together. Okay, you get a website. Okay, so this is one website with 5 pages. So this is the most basic that you guys have to do for example. 5 pages, link them together. Okay. So for your proposal, you have multiple pages. You see how you can make up. Okay, but this is the minimum that I require. Okay, for your website. It's actually more than enough. Okay. So any questions from here from this part? Any questions so far from here from what I've shared? Quite straightforward. All right, nothing complicated yet. We haven't go into the coding yet. Okay. But any questions so far, please ask before I move on to the next part. Before I move on to the next page. Okay. So filters, remember lah, HTML, hypertext markup language. The file extension is .html. Root folder is the folder where it contains all your HTML files, all your CSS, all your website files. Okay. So your website, right? Let's say I ask you, where's your image? Okay. You don't like, oh wait, I go to my documents, then I go to Sunday Unity folder, then I go to your 273 folder, then find my image. No. Where's your image? Double click on your folder there. Okay, so your files must all be in the all the files that relevant to the website. Use your website must be inside. Okay, if you have another
other image you have in your whatever document, you copy and you paste it into the good folder. That is very important. Okay,
just keep in mind lah. All right.
so I said one HTML file is one web page. So if you have 5 pages in your website, you will have 5 HTML files. Okay, that's the basic. And you link them together, you get the website. All right.
Okay, so what is HTML? Right, what is HTML? So, create a new frame, or I'll create it later. Okay, so HTML file or document. Okay. So just now we are talking about overall the big picture, right? Many HTML files form a website. That's the big picture. But now we zoom in. What is inside HTML file, right? So a HTML file document consists of multiple or consists of HTML elements. Okay. So if you know elements, it's like chemistry,
Right? Have your sodium, so-called sodium element, right? And then you have your sorry, sodium. Yes, you have oxygen element and you have hydrogen element, right? And you put them together, you get maybe hydrogen peroxide or hydrogen. Okay? So you think of website the same way, or think of the HTML document the same way. Okay? The HTML document consists of many HTML elements. So what elements you use will change the HTML file. Right? If you choose element A, B, C, then you form A, B, C HTML file. Okay, we choose different elements like chemistry. You put in different elements to the mixture, it will form a different molecule, right? Different material. Okay, so same concept. Okay, so you need to know what HTML elements to use lah. Okay. So for example, and how does these HTML elements look like? Okay. Example of HTML element. We have one called the example first. Okay, HTML element, we also call it HTML text. Okay, Either HTML element or HTML text.
this is not your Instagram or whatever tagging.
It's not the same. Text, right? So an example of HTML text.
This is an example. You don't have to worry what it means yet. You can just write it down and I'll explain in a bit. Okay. This is an example of a HTML tag. Okay, and if you notice this tag,
So-called this HTML tag, okay, div is like call it a div tag. Okay,
you have two components to it. The first part is the opening tag. Okay, the opening tag. The second part, it's the closing tag. Okay, so opening tag and closing tag. Okay, so
some HTML elements come in a tag. All right, comes in a tag. They have opening, they have closing. Right. So you always hear me say, please don't forget to close your tag. Okay, that is very important. Okay, if it's confusing a little bit, you just think of your website as if it's a bento box. Okay,
just visualize a bento box in your mind. Right. In a bento box, let's say you have a bento box that looks like this. Right. And inside each bento box, you have sections, correct? Right. You have a section for your whatever radish. Okay. You have another section for your teriyaki salmon, right? and then you have another section for your white rice, and you have maybe a section for your dessert, like a watermelon slice or something, right? So it's similar. Honestly, the concept is similar. You just think of your HTML file as many opening and closing text. You open up a section, you put your food inside, then you close it. You open up another section, you put your food inside, you close it. You open another section, you put your food inside, you close it, right? For HTML, you open a section, you put your logo, you close it. Open another section, put your navigation, close it. Put your image, close it, right? It's just always remember to open up sections. You're creating sections in a web page, all right? So it's same concept. Just think of it as a virtual box, right? You open up section, you put things inside, you close it. So I'll always say, please remember to close your tag. Because if you don't forget, you don't remember the first tag, you're gone forever. Just keep putting things in the section. Okay? But there are also HTML elements that comes in a single tag. Okay, so they are not paired. For example, an image tag. Right? There is nothing to close for an image. The image is an image. Right? So you just put the image inside. You don't need to close the image. Right? You only close the section. Okay? So in this case, this is a single tag. Okay, so it doesn't have an opening, doesn't have a closing, it's a single tag. Okay, so no closing tag. There is no need to close an image. Okay, an image is just an image. Okay, so remember, a web page is like a bento lunch box. Okay, you open sections, you put things inside, you close it. Open another section, you put things inside, close it. Okay, so it's very similar. All right. Because I give you this visual so that you can imagine when you code. Because when you code, you're just looking at text, you're just looking at numbers and numbers. But if you have visual in mind, you open this code, you put your image inside, and you must close it back. Okay, it helps you visualize. All right. Okay. Now, in every HTML file, so now we are going deeper into the HTML. Okay. In every HTML file, you have basic elements. You must have these basic elements. Okay, this is the basic structure of a HTML file. Okay, this is a rule. Okay, you cannot have this. You must have to start HTML file. Okay, so it's a structure. It's just like if you want water, you must have hydrogen and oxygen. You can't create water without hydrogen and oxygen. Okay, so you can't have an HTML file without these basic elements or this basic structure. Okay, so what is this basic structure? I'm going to type it in here first. Okay, then we will type into the code editor. Okay, so you copy, make notes first, then only you will type in the HTML, the code editor. Okay, So this is the basic structure of a HTML file. I'll give you guys a couple minutes before I explain what it means. Okay. So what does this mean? Okay, I'll just go through like, okay, and this is the basic. Okay, doc type obviously, document type. You're telling the browser it's a document type, it's a HTML. Okay, so obviously a browser can open other types of file as well. Okay, but just declaring that the file that you're going to open is a HTML file. Okay, and then you have these two. Actually, we call HTML tag. Okay, but this is not the same as that. Okay, everything is known as HTML tag because it's already HTML, so we call it HTML tag. So opening and closing. Another thing you can imagine is like a hamburger. Okay, some people call HTML hamburger markup language. Okay, just think of it like hamburger. You have your buns. Okay, inside your buns you have your ingredients, right? Your meat, your vegetable, your cheese, your onions, your pickles, your olives. Okay, so your HTML tag is the bun. Everything must be inside the bun. Okay, everything. That's why I said it's like a bento box. Okay, you have your everything is inside your big HTML box. Okay, so if I were to just visualize this outer box here, I'm going to change it to maybe this pink. Okay, and this is essentially the HTML tag. Okay, so you open it and everything goes inside like a hamburger. Okay, and you close it at the end. Right, so the opening. Okay, so this is how you can imagine. Okay, so everything will be inside this hamburger HTML tag. Okay, and then you have the head and you have the body. Okay, and the head and the body. Now this head, okay, don't be confused. It's not the same as your header. Okay, your design, right? You have your logo, you have a navigation, right? It's not the same. Okay, this one will have its own function that you will know later. Okay, essentially this head is to provide information to the browser. Okay, let's say you want to tell the browser what is the title of the page, and you might not want to show this to people, right? You have the title, later I will show you to put in the page. Next time you have CSS content, you have JavaScript content, right? You might also put it in the page. Okay, so these are not things that people see. Okay, not things that people in the front end they see. Okay, but you're just telling the browser, right? So a lot of things happen in the head, but it's not seen. Okay, the body is where things are seen. Okay, so if you put an image, you put in the body, you will see in your website. You put a text file or paragraph, you put in the body, your user will see. Okay, so later we will go through this. In fact, now we'll go through it. Okay. Okay, so this is the basic structure. So remember, these tags act like buttons. Okay, just think of these tags as buttons, right? You open a bun, you put your inside, you close. You open your bread, you put butter, you close your bread. Okay, so So everything you open, you close, open, you close. Okay, it's like a hamburger. All right, so now we will get and really do the typing of the code. Okay, so let's just do it on our desktop. Keep it simple. Okay, so on your empty desktop, I'm going to change my background so that you guys can see. Okay, change this color. Okay, so I'm going to create a new folder. Basic as that. Your root folder, you just create a new folder. Okay, so you can do this along with me. Okay, just go to your desktop, have a Windows or Mac. Okay, just go ahead, right click, create a new folder. And this root folder can be any name. Alright, it can be any name. Just maybe try not to have too fancy special. Okay, alphabets and numbers is fine. Okay, like you don't have to go through like exclamation mark, tilde, all those things. Just simple Latin words, alphabet and numbers is fine. Okay, so I'm just gonna call it week 6 HTML. Like that. Okay, week 6 HTML. Good enough. Okay, so moving forward, everything we do will be inside this folder. Okay, remember, everything we do will be inside this folder. There will be not an instance where you save a file outside of this folder. Never. Okay, so please remember this. So next time don't confuse like why my file is not working, my link is not working. Double check. Everything inside the folder. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to create our HTML file. So go ahead and open up your code editor of choice. Okay, you can be either Visual Studio Code or Sublime Text. Both are fine. Okay, I'm using Sublime Text. Okay, but both are fine. It's the same. Okay. So this is Sublime Text that I'm using right now. Okay. Okay, so go ahead and save this file first before anything. All right. So file, save as. Okay, I'm sure Studio Code is the same, right? File, save as. Who is using Studio Code? Who is using Studio Code? Okay, so save as. Now, before anything, please don't do anything first. Okay. So, right, a couple rules that I have to mention as well. Okay, in the Miro. In terms of HTML file, right? I will put here. Okay. Now there is a rule in naming your HTML file. Okay. Generally, any name is fine. Okay. Hold on. Generally, any name is fine. But your home page, okay, or the first page you want people to see, like it could be a fancy landing page, like a fancy thing or whatever. The first thing you want people to see, okay, it could be your home page, generally, right? The first thing you want to see your home page, or maybe you have a fancy landing page, like I mentioned with the animation before that you go to home page. Right? That file you must call it index.html. Okay, index is the first one. Your index finger, the first one, right? The first one, the browser, regardless, Chrome, Safari, Mozilla, Internet Explorer from the dinosaur years, they will all look for index.html and they will show it first. Okay, so you have to name your first file index.html. So no home.html,
main.html, homepage.html, those wouldn't work. Okay, they will not work. Your browser will always just detect index.html file as the first page. If you don't have an index.html file, let's say I go to www.kevintan.com and I don't have an HTML file, it will show file not found or page not found, the 404 error. Okay, because they cannot find the first page. The browser is not so smart to find out, to know which is your first page. They have to tell them. Okay, your browser is your Google Chrome lah, or your whatever lah, Microsoft Edge. Okay, so first file, it could be your home page or it could be a landing page, regardless, whatever file you want people to see first, you name it index.html. For some reason, if you want people to see the about page first, then you name your about page as index.html. Okay, the other pages is fine. Okay, other pages you can name it contact HTML, about HTML, gallery HTML. Those are fine. Okay, but the first image, first page you want people to see, you must name it index. Okay, so let's name our first file here index.html and save it into your week 6 root folder. Okay, so very directly, very simply, this is what you will see in your root folder right now. Okay, so if you have done this, just go ahead and save. Go ahead and type in your basic. Okay, cool. Any problems, please raise your hand. Any problem saving the file? Okay, if you have done, go ahead and type in the basic structure. Okay, follow your notes and type in the basic structure into your HTML index file. Okay, if you have done. If you have any problem, please raise your hand. Any problem, please raise your hand. If no, straight away type in your code. Obviously, you can copy and paste, but you know, you might want to practice typing first. In the future, you're also not going to keep typing in, you're just going to copy and paste it, okay? But for it's your first time, right? So might as well just type it first. Yeah. It's very simple actually, but I will let you guys know later. Okay, so make sure there is this what we call indentation. Indentation, this sort of like space to indicate the hamburger. Okay. Actually, in coding, it doesn't matter, right? I can type everything in one line; it will still work. But code is not just for human computer to read. Humans also read code. right? So we're trying to make the code as easily readable as possible, and these spaces helps. Okay, these spaces. So just now, if you notice, like my head and head is together, my body is together, but actually it doesn't matter. Okay, but I'm doing it so that it's easy for you guys to see, easy for you guys to read. Okay, so remember, code is not for computers, code is also for humans to read. So make it as clean and neat as possible. Especially if you work in agency, right? You're the front end, you work with the back end. The back end, you really need to know what you're doing, right? You can't just send them a very messy file. Okay. So save this. Always remember to save. Okay. Now, a tip to know whether you save it or not. For me, it's a habit. After I type something, I control F, command F. It's a natural doing. Okay. But if let's say you type in something, why your website is not updated, you check your file. I think it's the same for Visual Studio as well. On the top right, if there is a little dot, means you forgot to save. Okay. If you notice now, look at my tab. Now I put Control Save, right? Command Save. The dot will change to a cross. Okay. If it's a cross, means remember to save. This dot here. Okay. This dot here. If it's a little circle, I think Visual Studio is the same. Okay. If it's a little circle like this, if you notice now, mine is a little circle, it means I forgot to save. Okay. Command S. Okay. Command S. If it's a cross, means it's saved. It means the problem is somewhere else if it's not loading or whatever. Okay. Just a tip for you. All right. So now I saved it. I will open it on my browser. So how I do that? Just go to my root folder. I just double click, and you should open it in your Chrome. Okay. Obviously, there's nothing because we haven't typed anything. It's just a white box. Any problems? Okay, I mean, you just see a white page. Okay. Now I want you to try to type something in the head first. Okay, type something in the head, whatever. Hello. Okay, maybe wait. Do it like this with a title hello. Okay, so this is called what we call title tag. Okay. Okay. Just put title tag and then the word hello inside. Okay, or it can be whatever you want. Okay. Okay. Remember to save it. Control S. And when you refresh it, notice the tab. So the text will not appear in the body. Okay, remember the head, you are not putting things into the body, you're putting into this area. Okay, later you also do other stuff in the head, but essentially one of the functions of the head is the title. Okay, so that is how you change the tab name, the tab title, or the head title. You put it in title tag. Okay, title tag. Opening word, title, closing word. Okay. Now go ahead and just type anything into your body. Okay.
and you will see,
and you save and you refresh your browser, Control S, go to your browser, Control up. Command S, go to your browser, Control up. So when you type something in the body, it will appear on the white part of the page. Okay, the white part of the page is your body. So whatever you type inside, it will appear. Of course, you can also type stuff in your head, and it will also appear. But that is because the browser is covering up the mistake. Okay, that is not correct. That is actually really not advisable to put things in your head. But the browser will auto correct your mistake. They will assume that you meant it for the ball. Okay, and then they will put it on the right part. But that's not really not. So please don't do it. Okay, even though you can, but don't do it. The browser is trying to cover a lot of our mistakes in the website. Okay, so there might be a lot of bugs that you don't realize. That's why certain software we build already, we publish it, it all works, but suddenly something appears. Right? 2 years later, 3 years later, why are there always bug fixes? It's because the software is really quite smart. You know, they cover our mistakes, but there are certain points where you cannot, then the mistake appears, the bug. Okay? So please do it properly, even though it works doesn't mean it's right. It might cause you trouble in the future. Okay? Okay, any questions so far here? If I move on to the next stage. Okay? So just to recap, every time you start a new website, okay, go to your desktop, okay, or I mean actually wherever you want, but cleanly and most easily accessible your desktop. Right click, create a new folder that's your root folder. Your root folder can be any name, okay? And the first file you must name it as index.html. And every single HTML file you have, you must have this basic structure that you type in. Okay, you must have this basic structure that you type in. Okay, so now I'm gonna go through the basics, the most common HTML elements you will use, the most common, right? For sure, use image, for sure, use text, for sure, use paragraph, so I go through some of them. Okay, but if you go to this website, I think I linked it to your eLearn. You don't have to go to that, but I'm just going to show you. Okay, if you go to this website, this is like a very good website, but you're not going to really go through it lah because it's very wordy, right? We prefer like visual stuff. But anyways, if you go to HTML elements tab, okay, let me see. Yeah. Okay, you'll see that there's actually so many HTML elements out there that we use. Okay, some of it are outdated, not supported no longer. Some because depreciated means they no longer support, but they stick with that for reference. But there is just so many. Obviously, you will not use every single one. Okay, you only just use the ones that you need. Okay, and as you go through this class, you will recognize some of them. Okay. All right. So first basic one. So I'm just gonna remove the thing in my body. Just gonna keep it blank. Okay. So first one is heading. Okay, so I'm just gonna go to Miro and make some notes first. I'm just gonna create a new frame for the purpose.
Okay, common HTML elements, and that we will use for sure. Okay. So the first one, the heading tag or his heading element. Okay, this one is like, you know, when you do a mobile, you have your heading, right? The font that you use, right? Titles of articles, titles of pages, right? So this is the function of the heading. Okay, heading element or the heading tag. We have 6 levels. Okay, 6 levels of heading. All right. So H1 to H6. Okay. Now, what is another function of this element? This heading element. Okay. And why do we have like so many levels? Okay. So this is for the knowledge. It actually tells the website which is the most important information. It not only tells the website, it also tells your search engine. Let's say you're looking up someone, you're looking up, I don't know, Justin Bieber keep coming up. Some people. Okay. I think right, I want to say, but let's say you're looking up Justin Bieber, right? You put in Justin Bieber into the Google search bar. Okay. How does Google know what website to show you? Right? Of course, they don't have, I mean, yes, Google is very fast, right? But they won't read the whole website, right? So what they do a scan for your headings. So that's why if you go into digital marketing, right, you hear people like, oh, what's your keyword? You know, oh, I want to optimize the search engine. What's your keyword? What's your ad word? All those terms is essentially the words that you put in your heading, right? So if your heading has the word Justin Bieber, right, then Google knows that your website has Justin information, Justin Bieber, and someone might be interested. So Google is not going to read the whole website. It's just scanning your heading. And why do we have 6? Like I said, it prioritized, right? Let's say you have Justin Bieber in your article, but it's H2, it's not H1. So the Google know that, well, the website or the article is probably, yes, mentioned Justin Bieber, but not the main thing, right? It's only like a subtitle. So it will not rank your website as compared to someone who has the word Justin Bieber in their heading 1. Okay? So your headings is what we call to use for keywords, search engine optimization. Okay, is to show, let people know or let the browser know what is the most important information about. Okay, so heading 1 to heading 6, only 6, there is no 7. Okay, more than likely not, you will not use until 6, at most be 3, okay, generally. Okay. So how are the heading looks like? This is the heading tag. Opening and closing. Okay. Opening and closing, and you have 6 of these. Okay, you can go ahead and make a note, write down. Trust me, it helps you to remember. Okay, you might feel that, well, yeah, very straightforward now, but if I give you tomorrow, you have forgotten, and this is not your fault. It's just this. Okay. Writing it down help us remember better. Seriously. Okay, so 6 levels of heading. After you have made your notes, you can just go ahead and type it into your code editor. Once you typed it in, save it, refresh it in your browser, see what appears. Okay, so you can see something like this. Okay, the browser by default will give you some form of styling. Okay, by default, you have not done any setting there, but by default, you will put the H1 tag as the biggest, H2 second biggest, H3 second biggest, so on. Okay, up to the smallest is H6. The H1, H2, H3, up to H6 only, there is no H7. Okay, don't do it. Okay, straightforward. Everything here straightforward. Okay. Next. We have our paragraph tag, paragraph element. Okay, so as the name, as it indicates clearly, this is to put in paragraphs of text. Okay. So this is the structure of the paragraph tag. Opening P, closing P. Now paragraph tag only one. Right? Paragraph tag only one. There is no P1, P3, P4. And the reason why I say it is because I've seen it. I don't say it for fun. Okay, because I've seen students read that way. They thought, oh, first paragraph, paragraph one, second paragraph, no. Okay, they're all the same. So just the letter P. If you have multiple paragraphs, then you just repeat the P. Okay? So there's no P1, P2, P3. Okay, so go ahead, just go into your body after your H6, put in the paragraph. You can just go to Google and find a blank text, or shortcut, you just type the word lorem, L-O-R-E-M. That's what you type. Okay, that's how you also complete the stuff as well. Okay. So just press on. Okay, now one tip I want to let you guys know, not so called tip now, but one thing that you guys should do. Okay, please look first. Okay. Now always open and close your tag first before you put in a content. Okay. Don't write like you type in Microsoft Word. Okay, what I mean is when I do like a paragraph, I will always close it first. Then only I go back inside to type. Okay. Don't type it like you're typing Microsoft Word. Like, oh, I open paragraph, then I type content. No, you for sure forget. Okay. So always just open and close first, then you go inside and you type in your paragraph. Okay. So you have two paragraphs, just put it like that.
problem, please let me know. New word. All right. So that's paragraph. Very easy. Okay. So you have your website, you have your text, and you just put them in paragraphs, put them in headings. Okay. Moving on. Any questions before I move on? Okay. Next is image. Okay. Now image, maybe you just need to go and find an image on Google. Okay. Or whatever image you have. Please rename the image to something simple. Okay, please rename the image to something simple. It can be a JPEG file, it can be a PNG file. Okay, but the important thing is after you download, rename the image to something easy. Okay, because it's going to be case sensitive, it has to be exactly. So if you download from a website, right, like the word name, like image is super long and you made a mistake somewhere in some alphabet, then you just just download image but rename it to something simple. Okay, like cat. Okay, cat.jpg. Okay. Okay, obviously after you download, what you should do? What should you do with the image? Okay, now I've downloaded this image here. Okay, it is in my downloads folder. What do I do? Yes, okay. After you download, please remember to copy into your root folder. Okay, copy into the root folder. Don't just leave it at the downloads, copy into the root folder. Something like that. Okay, try and get your image ready first. Okay, remember to name it with something simple. Obviously, it can be anything, right? So name it to something simple. And make sure you double check the file format. Okay, because mine is going to be a JPEG. If you are downloading a PNG, go ahead and JPEG. Okay, so the code for image, the tag, just now I've shown you a little bit. It is IMG, SRC, like this. Okay, this is the basic structure of the image tag. IMG, SRC. This is the basic. Who can tell me what the SRC stands for? Source, yeah. So your source is literally the cat, or in your case, whatever. Okay, so make sure the file name is typed exactly as it is. It is case sensitive. Okay, if you have a capital letter, you must have a capital letter. And make sure you double check the file format. In the PNG, you must put .jpeg.zip. Okay. Save it. Go to your browser, refresh it. Okay. exactly the same. Anyone, any problem? Please raise your hand. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now I want you to remember. Okay, important. I want you to remember to keep your root folder organized. Okay. So obviously now it looks fine, like only one file, two files, right? One image and one index file. But in the future, you're gonna have hundreds of images, right? Tens of hundreds of images. So always keep your file root folder organized. Okay. So if I show you the example just now, you see that I have a folder called img. Okay. So in your root folder, create img folder or image folder. It can be any name, but of course you need to know what it is. So if it's img, img. If it's image, imag. Okay. You can put pictures, whatever, as long as people understand. Okay. But commonly it's img. Okay, now move your create img file, img folder, sorry. Move your cat inside. Or move, I'm using the word cat, okay, but move your image inside this img file folder. Keep things organized. Okay. Now I want you to go back to your browser and refresh the page. And tell me what happened. your image is gone. My cat is gone. Okay, can anyone tell me why? Can anyone tell me why my cat is gone? Yes, the source is different. Okay, the source means the source. Okay, the source means where your image is at. Okay, so your cat has moved, or my image has moved into the IMG folder. So I need to update the source. Okay, so just indicate now that is in the IMG folder / then only your image file. Okay. So actually, if I want to explain, I can explain it in this way. You are in your index file. You are in your index, right? We are in our index file. You are letting the browser know that my image, my picture is in the image folder. Find that. Okay. It will be instances in later where you might not be your index file. You might be another folder. You have to go up. Okay, but that one later. Okay. Now very simple. Just go to the IMG folder, image folder, or /cat, or whatever the image. Okay, so let's do. Okay, let's do one more before we take a break. Okay. This one, a lot of people probably want to know. How do you link files together? Okay. So now we have this index file, which is this page. Right? We have this index file with this page. Let's say now we have another page that we want to link from the index to. Okay, so we have, let's say, an about page. So you should know by now how to create a file. Okay, so go ahead, create a new file. This time is not your first page, right? So you can save as about, right? You don't have to save as index.html. You can just save as about. So you can name it about page. Okay, so just create and then go ahead, type in the basic structure. You'll be doing this a lot. You'll be doing this a lot. This typing of it.
Okay. So whatever you want to put in your about, just put. Okay, I'm just gonna give it a title of about page. In my body, I'm gonna put in a H1 about page, just like that. Okay, keep it simple. Okay, so go to your browser, just to test it out, open it, double click, and you should see your about page. Okay, I'm going to show you my about. Any problem with your about page? Okay, I'm Ken. Any problems? Okay, so how to link? Okay, please listen first. Okay. So the basic tag for a link is like that. Okay, the letter A. We call it the anchor tag. Okay, anchor. Your sheet, you anchor it down, right? An anchor tag. Okay. This is the basic, but of course, with just this, it means nothing. Okay, like, so where do you want me to link to, or what is it that I should do? We don't know, we haven't declared, right? So we need to have what we call the hypertext reference. Okay, the attribute of the hypertext reference, which is href. Okay, href. So you're telling this link where to go. Okay, href equals to where to go. Okay, so when I click on this link, where to go? Where you want to go? Where you want to go? Where you want to go? Right? So you see the X editor is already smart enough to predict for you. So you just put in about.html. So same concept as your image. You have to make sure that you put in the file name exactly as it is. That's why I say keep it simple, keep everything small letter, keep everything neat, organized. Okay, don't do like capital, sometimes capital, sometimes small. You're making life difficult as well. Just rename it into something simple, and you can just easily type it in. Okay. So that is hypertext reference where you want to go. But also you have this part within the anchor tag, right? In between the two A's. This is whatever that will appear on your browser. Okay? So if you type in the word click to go to about, this will be whatever it will exactly show on the website, on your web page. Okay? Okay, so if you scroll down all the way after the image, you will see a little link. Obviously, you can copy and paste your link above lah. Okay, then it will be above the image. But if you follow what I did and you scroll all the way down, you will see a little link there that says click to go to about. Okay, so whatever you put in between the two letter A, the two tag, opening and closing tag, it will appear here. Whatever you put. Okay, whatever you type, whatever you put inside, it will be in between the anchor tag, it will be the link. Okay, so click on it. Okay, click on the link. Does it go to about page? Check it out. Does it go to the about page? Okay. Now, obviously, the hypertext reference href doesn't only need to be our own web page. It can be your Instagram. It can be your Facebook. It can be any website, right? So if you want to link to another website, let's say your Instagram page, okay, so just replace the href instead of about.html. I'm going to create a separate one. Okay, so you can create another link. This time, you go to Instagram, whatever page you want. Okay, and just copy and paste the URL to the href. Okay, and you should link to that website. But make sure you have this. Okay, because this one indicates that you have to go on the internet. If you just put Instagram.com, you will find a file called Instagram.com, which doesn't exist. Okay, so you need to have HTTPS, at least HTTPS, okay, because that's a hypertext protocol. The browser will know, okay, HTTPS is something a website, I'll go to it. I will not find a file called Instagram. So you say and you will be able to link it.
Any problems? Please raise your hand. Okay, straightforward. Any problems? Please raise your hand. Test it out. Okay, after you put in the link, test it out. Control C, Command, Control S, Command S. Okay, obviously you need the internet connection now. Okay, if you don't have internet connection, then obviously you can't. Okay. Now one last thing, one last thing before we go for break. When you link to an external website, so-called external means a website other than your own. Okay, let's say I'm going to my own about page, it's fine, right? It's my own website. But if you're linking to an external web page, the general advice is to open in a new tab. So people stay on your website. Right? If you notice now, if I just do this, and I refresh, right, I click on the Instagram link, the Instagram page will replace my website on the tab. Right? So this is not good because you are sending people away from your website. You want people to stay on your website, right? So how we do that, like let's say when I click on the link, open a new tab, okay, is to have this attribute called target underscore blank. This is the code to create open the link in a new tab. Okay, if for some reason you want people to open your about page in a new tab, you can open. Okay, but generally for our own website we stay in the tab, but for other people's website we open in a new tab. So target equals to underscore blank. Okay. Okay. The last thing, sorry, one more last thing. I know there are many last things. Okay, so I've included this image in my home page. Okay, this same cat image, this same cat image I've included in my about page. Okay, now I want you guys to try. When I click on the image, go to the index. Okay, so in my about page, I've added this image here in my about page. I want you to try. When I click on this image, go to the home page, your index page. It's very, very straightforward. Okay, so you guys try, you guys take a break. You guys try, go. Okay, come back maybe 9, maybe 10 something. 10. Okay, very straightforward. What is the logic? Right? When you click on the image, go back to the home page. Not difficult. Click on the image, go back to the index. If you figure out the answer, try not to let your friend know first, let them try first. I don't want to show off. And after you've done that successfully, go for a break. You can do it. It's fun. Continue. You again.
That's why I remember that.
Okay, any problems? Okay, I'm going to give you guys a clue. Good. Okay. I'm going to give you guys a clue here. Whatever you put in between the anchor tag, the A tag, will be the link. Okay, whatever you put in between the anchor tag will be the link. So now you see, how do you make the image a link? No problem. Those who done, go take a break. Okay, those who are done, go take a break. Come back at 10:10. Those have problems, please raise your hand. Yes. Okay. So I want to see. Please are you happy with something? Okay, take a break if you need. Come back at 10:10. It's a lot, so please don't. Please go out and take a breather. It's not the right way to do it, but I will teach you like this way how to do it. Okay, so I can continue. Oh. Okay. Alright. Okay, so I continue.
Okay, the last element I'm going to cover, okay, and there's a reason why I cover this with one projector. Okay, the last element I'm going to cover and why I'm going to cover this, okay, later you will know. It's a list, the list element, L-I-S-T, okay. So here in my home page, give me a second. Okay, in my home page, because it's a bit low lah, okay, I'm gonna put my navigation after the heading. Okay, I'm just gonna put it here because after the heading, there's no right. Okay. Now there's two types of lists. Like make notes first. Okay. I completely forgot about this. So image element. Give me a second. Okay. So we have covered up to image or linking. Okay, so now I have the last element called the list element. And make notes if you need to. List element. And essentially this is like creating lists in your website. Okay, so for example, we have two types. The first type is ordered list. Okay, ordered list means you have ordered list. You have a 1, 2, 3 step. Okay, so in a real life example, when you are cooking, right? You have a recipe, you have to follow the recipe, right? Step 1, boil the water. Step 2, put the pasta in. Step 3, put the salt, right? Whatever, right? So you have step 3, ordered list. Okay, and the HTML for ordered list is this. Again, I'm just going to put it here first, then later I will type it into the file. Okay, so if you notice, OL stands for ordered list lah. Okay, OL stands for ordered list. LI stands for list item. Okay, LI stands for list item. So how many items you have, it depends. Now I have 2 items. Example. The
Okay, you can have 3, 4, however many items you want.
This item. Okay, so if I have 3 Li, it means to say I have 3 list items.
My steps, I have 3 steps. Okay, 3 steps. And the generated output
Of this, okay, generated output will be like that, no? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, I will do this. Give me a second. Okay, it will be like this. So if I have
OL and I have 3 list items,
my output will be 1 dot 2 dot 3 dot like that. Okay, so this is the ordered list. All right. I have another type of list. Actually, there are 3, but I'm going to cover 2. Okay, it's called unordered list. Okay, unordered list. For example, when you use an unordered list, the same example in your recipe, right? The list of ingredients.
it doesn't matter. You can get your onions first. Like you can go and grocery, buy your onions first, buy your sauce later, right? There is no order to it. It doesn't matter. You just need to have all the list of ingredients to cook.
Okay, so there is no order, no order. So for that is UL. Okay. Okay, forward. Ordered list
Will be you have steps to follow 1, 2, 3. Unordered list is just a list of items. You go and get it. One, no steps. Okay. Generated output
in your website will be like that. The default will be your bullet points. Okay, will be your bullet points. That will be the default output.
So just 3 bullet points because you have 3 list items. If you have 4 bullet points, 5 bullet points. Okay. So for those who are done, put it in your about page. Sorry, put it in your index page, not about page. Put it in your index page.
Okay, I'm going to put it higher a bit so that I don't have to scroll so down, but you can put it wherever. Okay, so that's just what I did.
Then remember to save Command S, Control S, open it in your browser and test it out. Okay, so do both UL and OL. Both ordered and unordered. Okay, okay, you can. Last challenge.
I want you guys to do this. In your about page, I want you to create this navigation list. This is what we call a navigation list. Okay, so in your about page, I want you to create this. So when I click on home, go to home. When I click on about, it goes to about. Create in both your homepage and index. Okay.
Any problem? Every page, your navigation list is not just on one page, you have to be able to click on every page, every button, every page. You can jump to every page you want. That is the basic of a website. Okay, so every page.
So if I'm on contact page, I can go to home page, I can go to about page. This is the essential of a website. Every page must have the navigation list.
All pages will have the three buttons. Okay, so not just like about the contact. Contact is also but yours the first. Have you already seen it? Okay, done, everyone? Okay, so basically that's it for today. Next week we will do the CSS styling. Okay, so we will change the color, change the font, change the background, change the image size, those kind of stuff. Okay, so that will be next week. Okay, any questions? So obviously, I think some of you still not yet submitted your whatever assignment. Okay, so please do so sooner. It's already past deadline. Okay, I noticed like 57, but I saw that I have like over 69 or 70 students. Okay, so a few of you still not yet submitted. Please remember to upload your screenshot to Blackboard. Okay, and start working on your assignment 2. Okay, your assignment 2 is just the mock-up design. Okay, so assignment 2 is just the mock-up design using Figma. Okay, so listen. Okay, so continuing for your assignment 1, design and prototype. Okay, so design prototype means you do the linking. Click on about, go to about, is about Figma. Okay, you take a contact, go to contact page. Okay, so those are the prototyping, the hovering effect, all those sort of stuff. Okay. A few visual picture of the website you intend to be in the final presentation. I asked for minimum 5 pages. Okay, but you guys based on your own site. Okay, and both mobile and desktop. You have until end of week 8, which is about 3 weeks. 6, 7, and end of week 8, 3 weeks. Quite doable. Okay, so all I ask for is just minimum 5 pages, but we based on your site map. Okay, both for desktop version and mobile version design. Okay, that's all. All right, thank you.